Okay, let's be real for a second. Usually when we talk about AI on the show, the whole pitch is about power.
Right.
It's always, look at this massive brain, or look how this bot can run your entire life for you while you sip margaritas. It's about handing over the keys.
It's usually about automation.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
dream of set it and forget it.
Exactly. But today, we are doing something completely different. We're looking at a stack of documents for a system called the Wenger AI golf coaching system. And honestly, at first glance, I thought, okay, a fancy golf app, put in your swing data, tells you how to fix your slice, standard stuff.
Sure.
But the more I read the architecture, the governance framework, the README files, this isn't really about golf, is it?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, the output is golf advice. That's the product.
Hmm.
But the engine, the thing strictly defined in these documents, is a masterclass in constraint. It is a case study in how to build an AI that is explicitly, aggressively designed not to take control.
That's the hook for me. Because usually AI is trying to prove how smart it is. This one seems like it's trying to prove how safe it is. The locked mission statement in the project charter calls it a capability-forward govern AI orchestration layer, which is a mouthful of corporate speak, but governed seems to be the operative word there.
It is. And to understand why this matters and why we're spending 20 minutes talking about a golf bot, you have to understand the nightmare scenario for professional AI. If you have an AI doctor or an AI lawyer, or in this case, an AI coach for a PGA Tour pro, and that AI hallucinates,
Right.
if it makes up a fact or gives bad advice, the consequences aren't just oops.
No.
They are career-ending. They are lawsuits.
So this system is designed to prevent that liability.
It's designed to solve the authority paradox.
Yeah.
How do you give a golfer elite, team-level support logistics, strategy, training drills without the AI ever crossing the line into, practicing medicine, practicing law, or making a decision that ruins a career?
And they are incredibly serious about this line. I want to start with the constitution of this system. They have a file called 00README. And in the software world, a README is usually just, here is how you install the app, or here's who to email if it breaks.
Correct. But here, the README is labeled canonical.
Canonical. For listeners who aren't software engineers, what does that weight carry? Why use that word?
In this context, canonical means it is the absolute source of truth. It overrides the code. It overrides the business goals. If the software can do something impressive, like predict the wind perfectly by hacking a weather satellite, but the read bank says no illegal data gathering, the read bank wins.
Wow.
It's like the Constitution. You can't pass a law that violates it, no matter how good of an idea that law seems to be.
And the central law here, the First Amendment of this Constitution, is this distinction between support and decision.
This is the golden rule of the entire stack. The system produces support artifacts. It never, ever decides outcomes.
The documents give some really specific examples of this that I found helpful. Allowed is drafting a travel itinerary. Forbidden is booking the flight.
Right.
Allowed is analyzing the trade-offs between a driver and a three-wood. Forbidden is telling the player, hit the driver.
Think about the psychology of that.
Yeah.
It seems subtle, but it's massive. If I say to you, based on the wind and your dispersion patterns, the driver has a 60% success rate, but the three-wood has a 90% success rate, I am supporting you. I'm giving you data. You still have to pull the club. You own the shot.
Right. I can't blame you if I shank it.
Exactly. But if the AI says, hit the three-wood, and you hit the three-wood, and you shank it into the water, who is to blame?
You blame the caddy, or in this case, the AI.
Precisely. By strictly limiting the language to support, they keep the agency and the liability squarely on the human shoulders. The AI is just a very smart dashboard. It is never the driver.
There's a line in the governance framework that I highlighted because it felt so counter to Silicon Valley culture. Governance beats ambition. It explicitly says that if the AI could improve your game by breaking a rule, it is programmed not to do it.
That is rare. Truly rare. Most tech startups operate on move fast and break things.
Right.
If it works, ship it. We'll fix the rules later.
Yeah.
This system says, if it works, but it breaks the governance protocol, kill it. It's prioritizing safety over performance, which is unheard of in AI tools right now.
They even have a final failure condition. It says the system has failed if a reasonable third party can claim it blurred the boundary between support and decision-making. And it says this failure overrides revenue, growth, and prestige.
It's a poison pill for the business model.
Yeah.
They're stating, in writing, We would rather go out of business than accidentally make a decision for you.
So how do they actually code that? Because it's easy to say, don't be bossy in a mission statement. I can write that on a napkin. But how do you enforce that in software? This is where we get into the spine and the core loop.
This is the fascinating technical part. The system isn't a black box where you pour data in and get an answer out. It's a ladder. They call it the spine. Every interaction, every single question you ask it, whether it's what's the weather or how do I fix my backswing, has to climb this 9-stage ladder.
And they use this term regarding the data, canonical envelope. It says strictly no loose JSON. Now, explain that to me like I'm 5. What is loose JSON and why is it the enemy here?
Okay, so JSON is just a standard format for sending data between computers. It looks like text lists of names, numbers, values. Loose JSON is like scribbling a note on a napkin and handing it to the guy at the next desk. It's fast, it gets the info there, but it's messy.
Okay.
You don't know who wrote it, when they wrote it, or if someone changed the numbers while you weren't looking.
Okay, so loose JSON is a sticky note.
Exactly. A canonical envelope is like a sealed evidence bag in a police investigation. You can't just move data from point A to point B. You have to seal it in an envelope that has the run ID, that's the case number, the user's persona, who asked for this, the risk tier, how dangerous is this question, and the evidence.
So nothing moves through the system without a chain of custody.
Nothing. If a piece of data shows up in a node without that envelope, the system rejects it. It assumes it's corrupted or compromised. It's bureaucratic, sure, but it ensures nothing sneaks in.
Let's walk through that 9-stage loop quickly, because step 4 blew my mind. Step 1 is intake, fine. Step 2 and 3 are checking the rules identifying constraints. But step 4 is the pre-execution commit.
This is a transaction boundary. Imagine you're about to buy something online, you review your cart, and then you hit place order. That click is a commitment. In this system, before the AI generates a drill or a schedule or writes a single word of advice, it hashes everything it intends to do.
Hashing is like creating a digital fingerprint, right?
Exactly. It creates a unique fingerprint of the intended action and logs it into a permanent record.
So it creates a receipt for the action before it does the action.
Precisely. It's a pre-commitment. It means the system can't act and then say, oh, I didn't mean to do that, or that was a glitch. The intent is logged before the execution. It prevents the AI from improvising in a way that isn't traceable.
And then step 5 is the actual work, but it's labeled support-only execution.
Right. The agent performs the task, analyzing your swing speed, looking up slight times, but it is wearing a straitjacket. It can only function within the constraints set by the policy chain in the earlier steps. It physically cannot execute a command that falls outside that box.
And finally, everything is sealed in an immutable evidence pack.
Which brings us back to the audit trail. If something goes wrong, let's say the AI suggests a travel schedule that causes a player to miss a tee time at the Masters because it didn't account for time zones correctly. An auditor can open that evidence pack and see exactly why the system did what it did. They don't have to guess or ask the developers. It's all there in the logs.
Now, you mentioned policy chain. Sometimes the system realizes, I can't answer this safely. Maybe the user asks a medical question, and that triggers the human in the loop, or HITL. But the implementation plan is very aggressive about what this isn't. It says, HITL is not a human joining the chat.
Yeah, this is a common misconception. People hear human in the loop, and they think of a customer service chat where a bot fails and says, let me connect you to a representative.
Yeah.
And then Bob from Idaho starts typing to you in real time.
That's exactly what I picture, just the handoff.
That's not what this is. In this system, HITL is a structural authority transfer.
That sounds much more ominous.
It's more formal. Let's say the AI detects a medical boundary violation. You tell the system, my lower back hurts when I swing like this. The AI freezes. It knows it cannot practice medicine. It doesn't just pass the chat to a coach to chat with you. It compiles a dossier.
Like a briefing document.
Yes. It packages the context, the user data, the specific problem, and the relevant logs into a structured file. It sends that package to a qualified human expert, a physio or a coach, who is logged into a separate dashboard. That human reviews the file, makes a decision, and sends the decision back to the system.
So the human isn't chatting with me. The human is signing off on the AI's homework.
Exactly. And this is the critical part. The human takes the legal and professional responsibility for that decision. The system washes its hands of it. It says, I didn't tell you to do that stretch. Dr. Smith did.
There is a really interesting section on the economics of this, the HITL credits document. It says humans get paid in credits for doing these reviews. But there is a crucial safeguard regarding speed.
This is vital for any governance system.
Yeah.
If you pay people per task, I'll give you $5 for every decision you review. What are they going to do?
Oh, yeah.
They will try to do as many tasks as possible. They will rubber stamp approvals just to get paid. Click yes, click yes, click yes.
Right. Speed equals money.
This system actively audits for incentive corruption. If a human is approving things too quickly, faster than a human could reasonably read the dossier, the system flags it as fraud.
Wow.
It forces them to slow down. It literally won't let them get paid if they're too fast.
It demands a rationale. You have to upload a specific file, hittlerationale.md. You have to write down why you made the decision.
It creates a paper trail of judgment. You can't just click approve. You have to say, I approve this drill because the user's back pain history suggests this is safe, provided they stop if pain persists.
I want to pivot to the language itself, because even when the AI is talking to you, it sounds different. There is a glossary and canonical vocabulary that lists prohibited terms.
Oh, I love this list. It's like George Orwell for golf.
The system is forbidden from using the word recommend. It cannot say advise. It cannot say ensure. And the one that really surprised me, it cannot use the word optimize.
Optimize is the most overused word in tech. Every startup promises to optimize your workflow, optimize your sleep, optimize your life.
So why is it banned here? Who doesn't want an optimized golf swing?
Because optimize implies a mathematical guarantee. It implies you have found the best possible solution. In golf and in life, there is too much uncertainty. The wind changes, you slept badly, the grass is wet. If the system says, I have optimized your game, it is lying. It is making a performance claim it cannot sustain.
So what does it say instead? If it thinks I should change my grip, how does it tell me?
It uses words like structure, analyze, compare, or present. Instead of, I recommend this club, it says, here's an analysis of your club options, or here's a structured comparison of grip A versus grip B.
It's subtle, but it shifts the power dynamic completely.
It's the difference between a boss and a consultant. A boss says, do this. A consultant says, here are the facts, you decide.
And there is a one-question rule for every output. Before the system sends a message, it asks itself, could this reasonably be interpreted as the system making a decision? If the answer is yes, it blocks the message.
It's almost paranoid. But I guess that's the point. It's defensive engineering. It's assuming the user will try to misuse it and stopping them before they can.
Let's talk about who this is for, because the Persona X risk matrix was a bit counterintuitive to me. You have 5 personas, from competitive golfer up to auditor, and you have Touring Pro as Persona 2.
Right.
Now, usually the pro version of a software is the unlocked version. You pay more, you get the safety rails taken off, you get God mode. But here, the Touring Pro gets tighter governance than the amateur.
Think about the stakes. If you or I go out on Saturday and the AI gives us a bad drill, maybe we slice the ball a few times, we're annoyed, we complain to our friends.
I'm annoyed anyway, but yes, the stakes are low.
But if a Touring Pro gets bad advice, if the AI messes up their travel logistics so they miss a cut or suggests a swing change that causes a repetitive stress injury,
oh man,
they lose their tour card. They lose millions in sponsorships. The liability is massive.
So the higher the status of the user, the shorter the leash on the AI.
Exactly. A Touring Pro triggers risk tier 2 or 3 much faster than an amateur. The system becomes more conservative, more audit-aware. It checks its own homework 3 times instead of once because the cost of failure is astronomical.
This carries over to how they make money, too. The monetization strategy mentions white labeling, letting other academies, like maybe the Ledbetter Academy, rent the engine.
But there is a catch, and it's a big one.
Commercial goals cannot influence system behavior.
You can rent the engine, you can put your logo on it, but you cannot turn off the safety protocols. You can't buy an upsell module that tells golfers they need to buy a new driver to win. The governance layer forbids manipulative sales tactics.
That is incredibly disciplined and, frankly, hard to believe in today's tech landscape where every app is trying to upsell you constantly.
It is. But they view the trust as the product. If the AI becomes a salesman, the golfer stops trusting the data. If the AI says you need this new club, you wonder, do I really? Or is the AI getting a commission? By banning that behavior, they preserve the integrity of the advice.
Finally, we have to talk about the audit. The if it isn't logged, it didn't happen rule.
The audit playbook.
They talk about stress testing with user pressure. This is a scenario where the user, maybe a stressed out golfer in the middle of a tournament, starts screaming at the AI. Just decide for me. I don't care about the trade-offs. Tell me what to hit. I'm losing my mind.
We've all been there on the course. Desperation. You just want someone to take the wheel.
The system's response is fascinating. It must not cave in.
Right, it's like a bartender. If a customer has had too much to drink and says, pour me another one, I'll pay double, the responsible bartender says no.
Yeah.
Even if the customer gets angry.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the customer threatens to leave a bad review.
So the AI logs this pressure as a risk signal.
Yes. It marks the user as compromised or high stress. It might even trigger a cooling off period where it refuses to answer until the user calms down. It refuses to take the liability just because the user demanded it.
So when you step back and look at Alex Wenger, we have a system that refuses to lead. It seals every thought in a digital evidence bag. It treats the word recommend like a profanity. And it puts safety above money.
It is boringly consistent by design. And I think that is the brilliance of it. We are so dazzled by AI, creativity generative art, ChatGPT writing poems. This is the opposite. This is bureaucratic AI.
But maybe that's what we need.
If you are building AI for healthcare or legal advice or financial planning, this is the blueprint. You don't want a creative accountant. You want a governed one. You don't want a creative doctor who invents new surgeries on the fly. You want one who follows the protocol. This system solves the problem of how to make AI useful without making it dangerous.
It leaves me with a question, though, and I want your take on this to close us out.
Go for it.
If we have an AI that can analyze my swing better than any human and calculate the physics better than any physicist, but we forbid it from telling me how to fix it without a human signing off, are we actually protecting the golfer? Or are we just protecting the software company's insurance premiums?
That is the ultimate question. Is governance serving the user or the lawyers? I suspect, in the long run, safety serves everyone, but in the short term, it definitely keeps the lawsuits away. And maybe, just maybe, it keeps the human element of golf alive.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you still have to swing the club.
A cynical but probably accurate take. Something to chew on the next time you're standing over a 3-foot putt wondering who to blame if you miss. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the governance of Alex Wenger.
Keep learning.